Well, the big overland canoe race is on. Boris and Natasha, with a priceless mooseberry bush, are fleeing just a few miles ahead of Rocky and Bullwinkle in their remodeled Leaky airplane. Starting at Frostbite Falls, Minnesota, the two vessels race through a couple of the largest Great Lakes.
Stroke, stroke, stroke!
Bail, bail, bail!
Then, as they ran out of water, they carried their canoes on a portage through Chicago.
Which way to Fort Wayne?
That way.
Thanks! Oh, excuse me.
It's all right. And a little while later, watchers of the Gold Cup powerboat race a couple of 100 miles away were awed when the number one speedboat was overtaken by not one, but two boats.
Stroke, stroke, stroke!
Bail, bail, bail!
Hold it, Bullwinkle!
Boy, that was close. Almost bailed out the captain.
How are we doing?
That leak's gaining on me. We better get where we're going in a hurry.
We will if the wind holds out.
Bail, bail, bail!
Stroke, stroke, stroke!
Boris,
Huh?
Boris, when is your half of paddling going to start?
Don't worry, I'll do my half. Now stroke, stroke, stroke!
A short time later, at the locks of the St. Lawrence Seaway, a bell rang to signal that a ship wanted to get through.
All right, but there ain't no ship there.
Stroke, stroke, stroke!
Say, a canoe full of Indians just went by here. I don't care if you believe it. I just saw...
Bail, 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 bail!
Never mind. This one I don't believe myself.
Soon the two vessels had run out of large bodies of water. They began to travel in small rivers or creeks, in irrigation ditches. Anywhere there was even a trace of water, they sailed on and on and on.
Stroke, stroke, stroke!
Bail, bail, bail! Sort of like riding on a soggy freeway, ain't it?
Crowds began to gather to watch them go by.
Here they come!
Stroke, 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 stroke!
Bail, 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 bail.
They went through city parks.
Stroke, stroke, stroke!
Bail, bail, bail!
They went through amusement parks.
Have a nice ride, folks?
I sure did.
Stroke, stroke, stroke!
Bail, bail, bail!
They even got through some places without carrying their boats.
Look out, Eddie!
Stroke, stroke, stroke!
Bail, bail, bail!
And finally, on one foggy evening, as they approached Washington, D.C., only a few yards separated them.
Stroke, stroke, stroke!
Bail, bail, bail!
Stroke, stroke!
Bail, bail!
Stroke!
There's quite an echo. Bail!
Stroke!
Bail!
Stroke!
That's the first echo I ever heard that wrote its own dialogue.
Boris, when is your half of paddling going to start?
Any mile now, Natasha. Psh! I think they're right behind us.
Gee, it sure is foggy.
Yeah, can't see my nose in front of my face. Of course, that's quite a distance.
You hear that? It's the squirrel and moose. They mustn't catch us.
Just then, Boris's canoe bumped into a warning sign.
Straight ahead only, no left turn. Dangerous sawmill. Sawmill, eh? Now we play little word game with that sign.
What game is that?
You heard of Russian roulette?
Yes.
This is Russian Scrabble.
And so when our heroes came to the sign, they turned left toward the sawmill. And a moment later, the stillness was broken by a hideous sound. Have our friends really run into more than they can handle? Don't miss our next episode, 2 for the Ripsaw, or Goodbye, Mr. Chips.
And now it's time for...
Time for the dancing fool, Bullwinkle!
Again? And now for one of our special fairy tales.
Yeah.
Once upon a time, there was a little tailor, a very little tailor.
To be exact, 4'2", eyes of blue.
Oh, how he wished he were a taller tailor.
Yeah, about 9 feet tall.
The reason was that being so small, he was constantly being picked on. When he ate his lunch, even the flies ganged up on him, 7 at once.
Stop that buzzing! I can't even hear myself eat.
But the flies kept on buzzing until the little tailor could stand it no more, and... Of course, that was the end of his lunch, but the buzzing had stopped.
Listen, it's quiet. I got him. 7 with 1 blow. Not bad for a shrimp.
The little tailor was so proud of himself that he immediately made a shirt which proclaimed his great deed and set out to tell the world all about it, even though, strictly speaking, it wasn't true at all.
Town's gonna know, world's gonna know about 7 laid out with 1 blow. 2 and 2 plus 1 add 2. Town's gonna know, world's gonna know about 7 laid out with 1 blow.
The little tailor left the town to boast to the whole world of his achievement. Along the way, he discovered a bird caught in a bush. He freed the little bird.
I killed 7 with 1 blow. Yeah.
And put it in his pocket. Before very long, he came to a wood, and seated on a tree stump was a giant. He was as big as the tailor was small.
Too tall or not too tall? That is the question.
Excuse me.
A chance to shrink? Aye, there's the rub.
Excuse me, Bard.
What do you want?
Take a look at that.
You killed 7 with 1 blow? You're such a little fellow. But then I'm so tall. Perhaps you did. Would you believe I was a 3-pound baby?
Listen, I killed 7 at 1 blow, and you better believe it.
What?
Put me down.
All right. Let's see just how strong you are.
The giant picked up a stone and threw it so high that it almost went out of sight.
Top that. I might be slightly overgrown, but I'm a throwing fool.
Well thrown, but it did come back to Earth.
That it did.
I'll throw one that'll never come back.
And the tailor, thinking fast, took the bird out of his pocket and let it fly, so to speak. And quick as a wink, it flew straight up and out of sight.
Oh, that is good. That is very good. You are truly gifted with a golden arm. Let us be friends.
And so they became fast friends.
You know, I have a feeling, Giant.
My name is Ralph.
Well, I have a feeling, Ralph, that we're going to come to an enchanted castle. And in this castle lives a beautiful princess who will become my bride after I perform 3 tasks.
Little tailor, you are out of your mind.
But just then an enchanted castle did appear.
Oh, dear me.
You there in the T-shirt. Stay where you are. I have a task to pick with you. My goodness. Not only have you killed 7, but you've captured 1 alive.
Well, he didn't. I'm not...
Don't be rude, Ralph.
For taming this creature,
Creature?
you shall indeed marry my daughter, after you have performed 1 task.
See, you were wrong. You said 3 tasks.
Well, it usually is 3 tasks, but since no one has ever come back from the first one, I've forgotten the other 2.
Oh, didn't they have something to do...
Ralph! What is the 1 task you want performed, Your Majesty?
In the wood lives a unicorn. You must capture it.
So the little tailor and Ralph set out for the wood. They proceeded very quietly.
There it is! The unicorn! This way, this way!
That way, head it off!
I got it!
It's me you got. There it goes.
So eventually it was Ralph and not the tailor who caught the unicorn. And do you know what? It wasn't a unicorn at all, but the king's daughter, and the most beautiful princess you ever saw. She was, however, a little tall for the tailor.
Would you believe I was a 3-pound baby?
And so Ralph and the princess were married and lived happily ever after. Oh, and what happened to the little tailor? Well, he stopped his boasting, he went back to his town and became a very good tailor indeed. Then one day, he met a lovely girl who was also 4 feet 2.
Would you believe I was a 16-pound baby?
And the little tailor married her and was perfectly happy and content. The motto is, you don't have to be 9 feet tall to feel 9 feet tall.
Well, it's been a rough canoe trip for Rocky and Bullwinkle, and it looks even rougher ahead, for in the fog they sailed right into...
Hokey smoke, a sawmill!
Hang on, Rocky!
And as our heroes sat petrified, the whirling saw blade cut their frail craft right in two. Fortunately, they were on opposite sides of the boat and escaped unscathed. But they were immediately seized by the sawmill machinery and became part of a soapbox assembly line.
Hey, let me out! You can't do this to me!
You know, Edward, I could swear them boxes was talking.
Now, look, Chauncey, boxes is made of wooden nails, right?
Right.
Wooden nails cannot talk, right?
Right.
Ergo, a soapbox cannot talk, right?
Right.
Okay.
Okay, now explain it to him.
Hey, Bullwinkle, look at the address on the crate.
To Congressman Drupelton Bun, Washington, D.C.
Yes, fortunately for our heroes, an election was coming up for Congressman Bunn, and he had ordered a shipment of soapboxes to make speeches from.
Hey, Congressman!
Great green gravy. It's the missing scientists, and you're back in one piece.
You were expecting maybe installments?
Meanwhile, a short distance away, a familiar canoe was shooting down the Potomac.
Stroke, stroke, stroke. Natasha, you poor little thing, you must be tired. Here, take megaphone. It's finally my turn to paddle.
About time, too. Stroke.
What do you know? We're here.
Boris, you said you'd paddle halfway.
I did. It's just your half was bigger than my half. You lucky kid.
And the two spies made their way to a lonely dock where a solitary figure gazed out over the ocean.
Oh, Captain Plopov. When leaves next submarine?
You didn't hear. Submarine is kaput.
Well, that's showbiz. You got orders from Central Control?
You bet. They send these.
What are they?
Water wings. One of us must swim back.
Swim?
But who?
Well, let's do things fair with square. We'll draw straws for it. Long straw gets to swim, okay? Okay. I'll take first one. Ooh, he's short. Natasha?
Also short.
Well, looks like you're it, Captain. Have nice trip.
And the unlucky captain started on his 3,000-mile swim.
Boris, darling, weren't you afraid you'd lose?
Not as long as I have telescoping straw.
Well, so let's buy boat ticket and go back home.
Buy ticket and go back home? Natasha, where is your pride, your professional integrity? We steal tickets and go back home.
Meanwhile, our heroes returned to their laboratory in something less than triumph.
Do you really think people are mad at us for losing the Mooseberry Bush, Rock?
Listen.
Boo!
Boo! Sounds like feeding time at the zoo.
There's one of them!
Look out, Bullwinkle!
Boy, they give us everything but another chance. What are we gonna do?
We just gotta think hard, Bullwinkle.
Oh, there must be an easier way than that.
And while our boys pondered their problem, the two spies in another part of the city were all set to get their return boat tickets from the Transocean Travel Agency.
That was quick, darling.
Of course, I always do business with Transocean. Come on.
And the two spies hurried toward New York City, where a huge liner was getting ready to sail. Don't miss our next exciting episode. Farewell, my ugly, or knots to you.
And now...
Hey, Rocky! Watch me pull a rabbit out of my hat.
Again?
Nothing up my sleeve. Presto!
Wrong hat.
I take a 7.5.
Now here's something we hope you'll really like. And now another treat for all you poetry lovers. Bullwinkle's Corner.
Hello there, cat fanciers. Today's poem is that soul-stirring classic, I Love Little Pussy. Where's the pussycat, Rock?
Over there, but it's not really.
Poem. I love little pussy. Her coat is so warm. And if I don't hurt her, she'll doom me. No, Rock, this is a tiger.
I know. The pet store made a mistake.
So I'll not pull her tail or drive her away. But Pussy and I very gently will play.
Bullwinkle, what are you doing up here?
I'm looking for my poetry book.
Why, look up here. You lost it down there.
Yeah, but up here the light's better.
And now...
Hey, Rocky, watch me pull a rabbit out of my hat.
But...
See? Nothing up my sleeve. Presto! Wrong hat.
And now it's time to meet Mr. Peabody.
My name is Peabody. I am a genius.
And my name is Sherman. I'm a boy. Mr. Peabody's boy.
Set the Wayback Machine for the 6th century, Sherman.
6th century it is, Mr. Peabody. And the place?
Camelot, where we'll visit King Arthur. The Wayback took us way back instantly to the foot of King Arthur's throne.
At last you are here. Which of you is the doctor?
Why, is someone ill, Your Majesty?
Not yet, but there will be. There always is on Black Tuesday.
Black Tuesday, sire?
Yes. Once a year, merry old England breaks out in a rash of plagues and floods. It always happens on a Tuesday. And you couldn't very well call it White Tuesday, could you?
Have there been any disasters yet?
Oh, yes, all sorts.
Such as?
Well, take it, for instance, my singing sword.
Looks all right to me.
Well, it may look it's all right, but today it singeth flat.
What else has gone wrong, Your Highness?
There's Merlin the magician. 1 hour ago, he developed a case of amnesia.
Abra. Oh, I wish I could recall how the rest of that goes.
You see? One calamity after another. And who knows what's next?
We soon found out.
Sire, we are doomed! Camelot is doomed!
Of course we are, dear boy. It's Black Tuesday.
It's the drawbridge, sire! There's a dragon down there!
A glance through the castle window confirmed the unusual report.
This, then, is it.
Why not fight the dragon?
Yes, but what with?
What about your knights?
Restless, lad, restless. Can't sleep a wink.
Sherman is referring to the armored type of knight, Your Majesty. You know, Galahad, Lancelot.
Oh, them. Yes, that's a good idea. Summon my knights.
Quickly, the drawbridge was lowered. But unfortunately, most of Arthur's knights had taken a shower with their armor on.
Rust! It is the thing we feareth most.
However, one solitary knight chose that moment to return from a quest.
I am Arthur's most valiant knights around. Begone, O dragon, or I shall runneth you through.
But instead of departing, the dragon merely sent a scorching sheet of fire.
Gadzooks, I've been barbecued.
Infuriated, the king drew his singing sword.
Out of tune or not, Excalibur and I will cut the beast to ribbons.
But the only thing he cut was a bell cord.
Well, Mr. Peabody, what now?
It would seem, Sherman, as though the responsibility is ours.
Yeah, but how do you handle a dragon?
Preferably with asbestos gloves. Wasting not a second, we crossed the drawbridge and confronted the huge monster.
We don't have any weapons, Mr. Peabody.
We don't need any. Now, if you'll empty your pockets, remove the contents and place them on the ground.
I don't get it.
The dragon will, my boy. Ah, that's what I was looking for. I believe you call this...
Bubble gum. Double bubble gum.
Yes. Now we shall leave the bubble gum here and return to the castle.
Do you think the dragon will let us?
Like anyone else, dragons are curious. No sooner had we left the scene than the dragon had inspected the bubble gum, decided it was edible, and quickly chewed it.
I still don't understand.
Watch. We've been quite patient with you, and so I suggest you return to your home, or else we'll be forced to resort to violence.
Look out, Mr. Peabody. He's going to breathe fire on you.
You forget the bubble gum. And so, as the dragon sank slowly in the west, Sherman and I returned to Arthur's throne.
Magnificent display of courage. I would knighteth you both if we weren't so busy with the termites.
Now it's termites, sire?
Look.
Before our very eyes, a square, massive table was partially consumed.
This is terrible, Mr. Peabody.
I don't know. Think of it this way. If it weren't for the termites, King Arthur and his knights might never have had a round table.
Well, our heroes certainly aren't feeling like heroes these days. for they lost the mooseberry bush, and with it their chance to rediscover their secret rocket fuel.
Gee, if we just knew where there was another bush.
But we don't. We ain't moon men, you know.
Bullwinkle, that's it. The moon man.
Where?
I mean, they knew where there was another bush.
Hey, that's pretty smart. I wish I'd thought of that.
You did.
Then how come you said it?
Come on, let's find them.
But when our friends called on the moon men at their New York apartment, they were gone, and nobody knew where.
Well, it was a good idea.
Yeah, even if I did think of it.
But just then, Rocky spotted a theatrical newspaper that gave them a clue to the moon men's whereabouts.
Moon men Sacco in lost wages.
Lunartics 20G click at Sands.
What do you suppose it means in English?
I don't know, I'll ask. Pardon me, what does that mean?
You kidding, Jack? Why, they're the biggest B.O. draws in showbiz. Floored them in Philly, pulverized them in Podunk. They're sensation. Way out. In a word, boffo.
Thanks.
What's it mean?
He wouldn't tell me.
But eventually our friends did find someone to translate the headlines for them.
According to our computer, your friends have a fairly successful show in Las Vegas, Nevada.
Las Vegas?
Sure enough, the moon men had gone into show business as a song and dance team.
Me and my shadow, all alone and feeling blue, bloopy-doo. Listen to that, Gidney. They love us.
Telephone, Mr. Cloyd.
Thanks. Okay, lay it on me.
Cloyd, this is Rocky the Flying Squirrel.
Rocky doll, how are you?
Rocky doll?
It's been ages, sweetie. How you been keeping?
Gee, he sure sounds funny.
Let me talk to him. Hello there.
Bullwinkle, baby.
Baby? I'm 6'2" in my stocking hoofs.
What? Can't hear a thing, lover. The applause is deafening. Here, Gid, I'll quiet him down. And now, folks, a brief intermission.
And of course, as soon as Cloyd fired his scrooch gun, the whole audience was frozen solid.
You went what?
Another mooseberry bush.
Oh, yes. Well, there is one other place.
Swill, let me write it down. Yes.
Come on, Gidney. They're only scooched for a minute or so.
Oh, we'd love to help you, Rocky, but we're booked solid for the next 3 years. Frankie asked us to follow Judy at the palace, you know.
There they go.
What'll we give him, Cloyd? Some real moon song.
How about Shine On Harvest Earth?
Oh, that's kooky. And 1 and 2 and shine on
harvest earth up in the sky.
So Gidney and Cloyd resumed their theatrical careers, while a little later on a pier in New York City...
Where are we going, Rock?
There's only one other place on Earth to find mooseberries, and we're going there.
Where's there?
A country called Pennsylvania.
And at that instant, just around the corner...
You got good tickets, darling.
Of course. Anything worth stealing is worth stealing well. First class cabin. And then nobody better try stop us.
So the two spies are headed for the same place as our heroes, Pennsylvania. And what will happen if either of the parties spots the other? Don't miss our next episode, Cheerful Little Peerful or Bon Voyage.